There is something that I find so cool about gigantic robots. Perhaps it's the fact that within these universes they are impossible feats of engineering. Perhaps it's just because they look ace. Either way, giant robots are a staple in our imaginary zeitgeist of fictional ideas, and that means there are bloody thousands of them. The laws of physics mean that these sort of creations would never be able to actually move in real life with our current technology, and possibly not with any future technology, and that means that people can come up with any old backstory or design for them, and it's just as feasible as the last. I'm going to showcase 5 of my personal favourites. These are not supposed to be objective or definitive, just ones that I quite like. My categories for picking these are not particularly logical, so expect some variation. These are my top 5 giant robots. Metal Gear Rex is probably the smallest robot on this list, clocking in at only 13 metres. Metal Gear Rex is so cool, more because of what it represents than what it actually is. Rex is a bipedal war machine, capable of firing nuclear weapons from a railgun, giving it destructive power unheard of. It's able to be deployed virtually anywhere, its nukes are undetectable from thermal imaging, and because it's a railgun rather than rocket, is exempt from various treaties and ICBMs. In the world of Metal Gear, Rex represented the idea that nuclear weapons could become commonplace on battlefields and used by anyone in any nation covertly, which is bloody terrifying. It's a machine that could turn the world into a never-ending scene of war, something that was touched upon in Metal Gear Solid 4, but the fear this robot delivers comes from its gruesome prospects. If you're going to build a giant robot, you might as well give it some style. Why not build it bright red and make it look like a traditional samurai in full armour? That's what Gurai looks like from Techromancer, and it's sweet. He wields a ginormous sword and is the definition of Mecha. What could be more insane than a huge samurai robot? I know this sort of design has existed in other video games and anime, but I love Techromancer, so this is the one I like the most. He's one of my favourite characters in the game, so this design will always be iconic to me, and I love it. When I was a kid, I bloody loved Power Rangers. The kung fu fights, ridiculous monsters, and cheesy storylines meant that it was so much fun to watch. One of the best aspects of the show was at the end of every episode, the villain of the week would get turned gigantic by Rita, and our heroes would have to call their own Zords, which combined into a Megazord to fight it. These were ridiculous kaiju-style battles, in which explosions were frequent, cities were destroyed, but best of all, 2 people in rubber suits would fight. I love the Megazord because of how ridiculous it is. They don't even try to pretend it moves like a robot would, instead letting it move like a human. How that thing could ever be piloted is a mystery, but one thing is certain, it's mega. Mechagodzilla is created as a weapon by some aliens who intend to use it to conquer and colonise Earth. Mechagodzilla later on is modified with human brain cells which turn it into a form of cyborg. In a different canon, Mechagodzilla is created by the United Nations Countermeasures Centre using reverse engineered futuristic technology as a way to battle Godzilla. I love that in all these cases, they saw the most destructive and powerful creature on Earth and decided to make a robot replica of it to fight it. To me, Mechagodzilla is potentially cooler than Godzilla. I've always liked mecha designs, but the idea of a gigantic robot Godzilla tearing up the world and fighting monsters is a concept they have to use in the new Monsterverse they are creating in the West. To see it properly on the big screen would be epic, as I've never had the chance to see it before, apart from on video or TV. The Big O is one of my favourite animes and features one of my favourite giant robots, Big O. The Big O combines the noir, action and mecha genres and is a really interesting and underappreciated show in its own right, which deserves to get more praise, but for this list I want to focus on the aforementioned giant mecha, Big O. Big O is able to be summoned at any time through the use of a wristwatch, which is a pretty nifty idea. As a design, I think it looks almost godlike, but still retaining enough mechanical parts to be considered robotic. It has 2 giant pistons on each arm, which are used to ram through any opponent with its gigantic fists. It's fairly slow and lumbering, but extremely powerful and destructive, as it is able to utilise missiles, plasma, lasers, anchors, machine guns, energy beams and more. To me, it's one of the most iconic mecha anime, and my favourite giant robot. Thanks for watching this video. I get that in a list like this, which is completely subjective. It's hard to really call it a top, but I hope you enjoyed watching my picks. Let me know in the comments below what your favourite giant robots are, and please consider subscribing if you enjoyed the video. Goodbye!